Hey guys, got a new review video for you this week. Today we're going to be looking at Academy's reboxing of MRC's 1/35th scale UH-1C Huey Heavy Hog. So let's get into it. Now, right off the bat, I was really impressed with the detailing on this kit. Is the details made up of a combination of a raised detail for the various rivets, which is kind of hit and miss in terms of, well, to my eye at least, in scale level, but it's just that much off, so it doesn't take away from the kit. But it's also has a recessed detail as well, which is very nice. As you can see here on the main body, hopefully this will come out well. Which again, as I said, is very nicely done and gives you a good sense of size. Moving on, this particular kit comes with a set of 4 figures, 2 pilots and a door gunner and 1 standing outside figure. A little disappointed they didn't include 2 door gunners, as that would make more sense for the time period, but it's not horrible. There are a couple of ejector pin marks on the figures, though. It's worse here on the back of the body and in the head, as well as now I'm noticing also on the legs. Not in the world, but definitely a bit of a strike against. Now, moving on to the clear parts, they're very nicely done, very thin looking, and very, very good. Nice out of the box set of clear. Now, moving on to the large spread of various components that go into the construction. Have the main deck, which is very nicely done. The flooring came out really nice. Back, cockpit, main rotor blades, seats, engine detail, top of the cabin, which has various instruments, which nicely done, except for the sides, which are a little bit off and need just ever so slightly bit of cleanup. But yeah, here's a look at all these components. Again, very nicely detailed, standout job. Next up, we have all the bit of accessories, doors, panels, what have you, as well as all the rockets that go with it, as well as the 40mm grenade launcher for the noses and the landing skids. Now, one area that I felt a little disappointed, and hopefully this will come out somewhat well on camera, is the instrument panel. It lacks oomph, if you will. It lacks, that bit actually that makes it stand out. That's one of those areas that generally you want to try to make it look good, and this one just out of the box doesn't have that. Definitely an area, if there's an aftermarket option, go with it, as yeah, that would definitely improve this kit some. Now, last as far as part is a sprue of this sort of soft vinyl type plastic for the various ammo feed belts, which very nice that they include and went with this excuse me, softer plastic so you can adjust it as need be. My only complaint with this is that the detail in some areas is lacking and or is poorly molded. Last up, we have the decals, which are very nicely done. Very clear, very sharp. Wish more decals were like this. So, now, if we continue on, look at the paint guide. It's very nicely laid out, going with just single sheet, back to front. Very clearly states where all the decals need to go, painting, all that. Very nicely done on Academy's part, or MRC. Now, moving on to the instruction booklet. Here we can see the various sub-assemblies. There's a lot of stuff that goes into building up the cockpit before you glue everything together. In fact, it really starts to take on the shape even before you put the two halves together, which is nice. Especially given that this is 1/35 scale. You want as much detail as possible as it's going to show up. Now, there are a couple areas where it does seem a little confusing with regards to attaching the weapons here specifically, as they have two different panels, and it's a little confusing. I think it's whether or not you're putting it on the left or the right side. Again, could have been a little more informative. It also doesn't mention how to use the attach the other rocket pods, which it does come with, and that is a little disappointing. But in fact, they do at least include it, so it gives you the options. So, yeah, that was Academy's 1/35 UH-1C reboxing, and I'm impressed. Definitely one of those kits I would recommend. There are some areas that are a little confusing, possibly a little challenging, but definitely a standout kit. This is one of those kits you should get if you're into helicopters or aircraft in general, or Vietnam, or what have you. But definitely, this is a definite one you want to get. It's not too expensive. I believe I got this for around $30 to $40, give or take a little, but definitely one to look for and get. So, till next time.